We have done a survey, a global survey, targeting CEOs, and I'm glad to say UAE had a big representation in that survey. And we have uncovered a few things which I think is going to be interesting. First and foremost, we have seen almost close to 40% of those CEOs, including the ones in UAE, obviously, would want to invest in reskilling, upskilling, and nurturing the skills of their employees. It's not a secret, it's the age of AI. You were in the World Government Summit this week. AI was in every room, and we do know that it's going to have an impact. So CEOs who's going to prepare their employees going to be probably on the winning side of this equation. Second point was around hiring for potential. For a long period of time, people thought, and still some think that we're going to lose our jobs to AI. From what I can see is probably it's not going to be the technology that we're going to be challenged by. It's going to be people who are ready to learn those technologies and those new tools. And as a result of that, we've seen CEOs, over 52% of them would hire for potential and of course for experience, which is something really, really important. And last but not least, to your point earlier about hybrid work, we have seen that hybrid seems to be the winning side of this. Big chunk of the CEOs believe that they want to have their employees work between home and office in opposed to one place only. And we have seen even a jump in UAE in terms of hybrid jobs being posted on the platform of over 127% year on year.
It's interesting because as we look at some of these numbers, you heard there 42% of UAE CEOs see higher productivity from these hybrid work models. What do you think the long-term viability of remote work is going to be in the AI age? Because we've already seen big name employees like Goldman Sachs and Tesla, for example, demanding workers come back to the office.
Totally. So AI will have an impact, will probably have an impact on everything. But if I am to simplify this, probably the most common question I usually get from people like, will I use my job to AI? And the way I think about it is in three segments. Segment one, part of your job, if we break down your job to set of tasks, we see the first part of your task will be the manual, routinary, administrative part. That will be completely lost to AI. Then there will be a second part of your job, which is where you're going to use AI to be more creative, more productive, but more important, more efficient. And that people who will decide to learn AI will be more successful. Then there will be the last part, which I don't think AI will impact at all, which are the soft skills, leadership skills, compassion, relationships. We're moving into an economy where it's all based on relationship and trust. And I think AI will have little to impact. Hybrid will be winning, as I said earlier, in terms of the workplace piece. We have gone through different parts on this spectrum, one from being completely working from home during COVID to coming back to the office in a rush after COVID was over because people missed those social interactions. But now we see hybrid is the new normal, and I personally believe that's going to be more on the long-term side.
Okay, so hybrid may be the way forward. Ali, also walk us through what all of this means for the job market. The report also shows 91% of UAE CEOs are actively making changes to drive growth this year. Confidence seems pretty high. More than half of the CEOs you've spoken to say they need new talent across all of their business units. So what does it say about the state of the jobs market, and what's the translation for job ads on the platform right now?
Perfect. So what we have seen in UAE that November, December 2024 compared to November, December 2023, there's probably a slight decrease in hiring activities, but still among the highest globally, which is great. And that's driven by the high economic growth of the country. We have seen as well that some of the industries like real estate, we have seen double-digit growth, north of 13% year-on-year growth. We have seen construction growing by almost 8%, and we have seen huge recruitment happening in education. So yes, while at aggregate level, perhaps hiring activities in UAE slowed down, yet it's still very healthy. And we have seen those increase specifically happening in real estate, construction, and education sectors.
Ali, one of the other interesting things that at least I'm detecting anecdotally right now is that we are seeing a rollback on DEI initiatives. This is being led in the United States and it's filtering down elsewhere. Are you seeing a similar shift in corporate attitudes in the region, or is DEI still something that's really important for Gulf executives?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't covered that specific angle in the research, but from my experience talking to different CEOs and talking to different CHROs as well, I think there is focus on hiring the right talent and the right opportunity. While in many parts of the industries, we see, for instance, there's an interest to increase gender diversity. Take example, sales leadership role. We do see a gap in this region where there's more men sales leaders than women sales leaders. So there is a focus in many of the industries and many of the companies, different sizes, to hire to get that to acceptable levels. But there has always been focus on the right talent and having that and the right opportunities. And I think this is going to continue to happen.